From the national headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital, hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. We've got breaking news for you on this night. We're going to get right to this video that has for hours now been burning. The people in Paris are in tears. They are singing hymns. There are people that we've seen on the streets. People all over the world as well have been staring at their TVs, their cell phones, their laptops, looking at this amazing, look at that. Look at that video of one of the most iconic, one of the most historic churches in the world, burning. What you're looking at right there is the Cathedral of Notre Dame. And here is the dramatic moment when its famous spire collapsed suddenly, and the world watched. Let's take a listen. Goodness gracious, can you imagine? Did you ever think you'd see anything like that? Darkness has indeed fallen on the City of Lights. This after weeks and weeks of protests and political infighting, interestingly enough, which makes this somewhat ironic. Parts of France's most historic and beautiful edifice is crashing to the ground. People gathered along some of the banks of the River Seine, many of them just wiping tears, watching some of the cinders, the flames. As we look at these pictures of more people, we see some pictures there of some of the smoke that's billowing onto the Parisian sky. In fact, we're going to have some live pictures that we're going to be sharing with you here, because we're going to be in full breaking news mode as we follow this. Okay, these are live pictures coming to us now. As you see, darkness has fallen on, ironically, the City of Lights there in Paris. Most of the people, Parisians, are describing this scene thusly. It's like losing a member of our family. Like losing a member of our family. That's what a lot of people in Paris are saying today. Meanwhile, one of the most ironic parts of the story is, in fact, that the French president, Emmanuel Macron, was planning to address the nation tonight to try and somehow heal all the resentment that's being felt against his government. And many of the stories that we have been following for you, not so much his government, but his government's policies, especially having to do with the price of fuel, on how the middle class is feeling affected by this. Well, that speech by Macron has now been canceled. We understand it's been canceled indefinitely because of what's going on right now with this in Paris. Brigades of firefighters, 400 to 500 at a time, have been dispatched to the cathedral, mostly to no avail, at least in terms of being able to save the church itself. Although we did just learn moments ago that at least as far as some of the towers are concerned, that they have been saved. They say the two rectangular towers, firefighters think that they're going to be able to save those. You can see them right there just on the outside of the screen. As you look at the frame, you can see them on the right, and the other one just to the left of you right there on the screen. Now, Notre Dame is known worldwide as the jewel of the medieval Gothic architecture. It was built in the 1100s and is now visited by about 30,000 tourists every single day, amounting to about 13 million people annually who go just to visit this particular building. Part of the problem is that much of the cathedral is built out of wood, and also the spires are so high that it's impossible, say firefighters, to be able to put out the fires near the top of the building, which is why it's been so difficult for them. But it seems like the whole world has been staring at this scene today, trying to see if they could somehow put out the fire, and then we see the spires start to tumble. Imagine how much artwork, how much history, how much architecture in that particular building. It is still, as of right now, a mystery as to what happened. Although there are look at that. Look at this picture coming into us now as well. This is, you could see the smoke billowing into the sky. You can imagine what it's like for anyone living within miles and miles of Paris, as a picture that we ourselves have experienced here in the United States, obviously different nature, but one of those stories where you'll always be glued to what you're seeing in front of you there, the billowing smoke signaling something devastating happening in the City of Lights in Paris. This is the News with Rick Sanchez, where we do believe, whether it's breaking news or investigative stories or analysis, it's time to do news again. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.